What's up? It's the bold take. We're
The
joined
bold
by
take.
we're joined by the legendary, the mystical, the dillical at E_Dilla. Dillard, what's up?
What's up, guys? How are you?
We're joined by the masterful, the resourceful, the magnificent at Bold City Cap. Cap. I'm really excited to hang out in Houston, guys. Are you guys excited?
It's a pleasure to be here. It'll be an even greater pleasure to hang out with both of you in the great state of Texas.
I need a fucking vacation. Don't know about y'all, but I need a fucking vacation.
The great state of Texas. Now we just have to pray that no hurricanes come either here or there over the next 10 or so days, and we'll be good.
Can you believe motherfuckers were prancing around talking about Hurricane Katrina this time last week? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. And then
I hate to touch on it again, but what the fuck is wrong with you?
well,
they got destroyed by another hurricane.
Yeah.
Seriously. Jesus.
Quite not great, Bob.
Not great, Bob. Well, the thing that is great is that Trevor Lawrence looks really good against accountants and car salesmen.
I kind of feel like at the end of the day, if there's like a checklist, right? So we check that off. We at least know that.
Yeah.
Whereas with past quarterbacks, you maybe came out of a game like that and you weren't quite sure.
Accountants and car salesmen might have been picking off our past quarterbacks.
Or just really inaccurate passes or bad reads or whatever you want to call it. But yeah.
At the end of the day, he could only play against who he was playing against. And we knew he had to play good. And for him to play good, that was the best he could do in that moment. And some of those balls are dimes. It doesn't matter who's covering.
Dude, I don't know where you shared it. I don't know if you shared it on the timeline or if it was in a private message, but there was a picture from an end zone view of him like with the ball like this, like he was about to release it, and then the receiver was like behind one defender, and then over here was the other defender, so you could kind of see the window that he must have fitted into. Yeah. It was like, oh baby, like they were both like looked like they both could have picked it off, and he must have stuck it right in.
Yeah, it was James O'Shaughnessy, right?
I don't remember. It was blurry, but I just saw the window, and the window made me up a little bit.
Listen, are we going real?
There it is. You see the receiver there. There's the two defenders.
That's where the pocket got pushed into his face.
Scoop.
Right there. Yeah, he stepped up and doinked it right into O'Shaughnessy's arms.
Yep. And then he had another one later in the game. I think it was to O'Shaughnessy, where O'Shaughnessy kind of came uncovered and he threw it real low. And at first glance, it was like, oh, that was maybe a little bit of a bad ball, or an inaccurate ball. But then when you saw the replay, he put it exactly where he had to put it.
That was like a rollout to the right, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he put it right on his back shoulder. And it literally threw it so hard it stuck.
We saw a throw like that kind of in the scrimmage too. He threw a touchdown where he kind of put it low, where only I don't know if it was O'Shaughnessy, but it was definitely a tight end where only
look and that's what I take from the game more than anything, right? I mean, Urban, he had a look of relief. I think a lot of the guys, including Trevor, it was needed, right? I mean, everybody agrees that was needed, whether it was against first team, second team, used car salesman, the PR team, whoever didn't matter. Like just some success and a little bit of positive momentum to end things and go into the regular season was needed. With that said, you can take the narrative of it was against the second team and maybe dial back what Trevor did a little bit. But I think if you really diagnose and go and look at each one of the throws and each one of the reads, would coverage maybe have been a little better at times? Okay, maybe. Would they have maybe gotten more pressure on him with the backup O-line? Probably. But even so, some of the reads and the throws he made were quick decisions, were decisions that were made pre-snap, confirmed at the snap, boom, I'm going there. So and there were a lot of balls. This was my kind of overall takeaway from it that made me feel good. There were a lot of those passes, 11 completions or something, 11 for 12 or whatever it was. A lot of those 11 that were just flat out good passes that would have been good passes and good decisions, whoever was on the field.
Thanks.
So, I think that for me, that was the most encouraging thing. It's not the stats. It's not that he only had one incompletion. It's not that we won the game and we looked like a functional offense. All those things, great. They're a little bit surface level. If you really look at it, the plays the throws he was executing, the reads he was making, like that's the important takeaway, because those are similar things that are going to come up. Now, I don't know if what kind of coverages the Cowboys were playing, if they were really trying to confuse him or anything like that, which teams are going to do. But one thing that's very evident, the dude can make all the throws.
Yeah. He's not going to go 11 for 12 every game or whatever, every half, but
No, but you know what? Like, that's where I think the game planning and the coaching is going to play a really big part, because can they set him up with, easy reads? Can they put him in situations both from a planning and a pregame perspective and from an adjustment mid-game, right? Like, are they going to be able to help him? Because I think the dude's really good at diagnosing once he sees stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be when he's seeing stuff that he's not used to, who's helping him through it, and how do they kind of work through that process, that I'll be interested in. So
I think too, I saw a lot of people saying like, well, they're the backups, talking about the Cowboys. Besides Laviska Shenault, every receiver that made a play got cut.
Yeah.
As
he was
predicted
playing
on the Solid
backups
53.
too. The offensive line backups. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
It's also the people he was playing with were fit to play against the people that he was playing against. He was the elite talent, sure, but when's the last time you've seen Philip Dorsett make a play like that?
Yep.
In college.
Pharaoh Cooper, I don't know if I've ever seen him catch a ball.
Pharaoh
He just
Cooper,
returns
double
kicks.
move, wide open. And then the really important one, me and Solly are sitting in his garage. He threw that touchdown pass out to Shenault. As soon as Shenault put his foot in the ground, I said touchdown. Yeah. And when you have a quarterback who can make that throw, it's different.
Let's touch on that throw a little bit, because that's a throw we've seen not executed or executed poorly more often than not for the last 15 plus years.
Yeah.
And so like, it was quite literally, I'm sitting in the pool and kind of in and out of the pool. And I think I was like standing right under the TV in the backyard when that play happened. And I said that like out loud. I was like, that didn't, like, watching it live, you wouldn't say that's a wow throw, right? Mm-hmm. You'd say, hey, that was a good route, and he put it exactly where it needed to be. That's a throw that like a really good quarterback makes more times than not. We just haven't had anybody who can consistently throw that fade or that out, in that case, like that little out in that situation consistently.
That pass is really hard to execute when your throwing motion looks like this.
Facts. Shout out to Blake Bortles.
That's going to be terrible on the podcast, so that's why you guys got to watch our YouTube channel.
That's right. Subscribe.
Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah.
That's right.
Bold Take Pod. So we're sitting at like 480 something subscribers. When we hit 500, we're going to be giving away a little bit of merch, and our pals over at Perfect Rack are going to be giving away a $50 gift card. If you guys don't know about Perfect Rack, they're going to be crushing it in season Jaguar games. Every touchdown the Jaguars score, you get a free shot. Week 1 against Houston, that's where I would be if I was in town, because you're going to get drunk.
So
are we going to?
We're at 490 right now, so only 10 away.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, so 10 more, and I mean that's cake. We'll get that after this episode. So be on the lookout for the giveaway, I would say, right? Do we feel comfortable just go ahead and saying that?
Absolutely. Yeah. We're gonna be giving away some stuff.
All right, so let's just go ahead. I'm gonna get bold here on the bold take for a second.
Hello.
Let's go ahead and make a commitment that the bold take boys are going to watch one of the away games. I'm gonna make it up there to Perfect Rack for at least one away game. I don't know when it's gonna be, because I'm going to the first 2, so they're kind of out of the question. Which then puts us into like October. So I haven't even let my brain get to October yet. But yeah, we're gonna have to do that. So we'll put it out there.
My brain ain't even in September yet, bro.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't for these 2 trips, mine probably wouldn't be either. But yeah, so we'll definitely try and make it up there for all 3 of us. for a game at some point this season. Make sure you go up there and check them out. I hear the wings are fire. I haven't had them yet. Here in Best Wings of Town, which is, I'm partial to my spot out here at the beach, which I'm not going to name them because they're not a sponsor.
Yeah, because they're fucking paid up.
But with that said, I'm looking forward to trying some wings at the Perfect Rack, which is also a great name.
I'm definitely in. It's only 5 minutes from my place.
Yeah, so it's a little further for me and Dillard.
You let me know when.
It's a little further.
I've been up there about 3 times since we got the sponsorship. So
yeah. Every time he's been to, he texts me, told me it's fire.
I know, and I actually the other day found myself looking at houses in Murray Hill, not to move into myself, but just to like maybe snatch up and rent it out and just have an excuse to be like, yeah, I'm going to Murray Hill. I got to go check on the house, babe. What took you so long? I was, had to just pop into Perfect Rack for, you were doing what? Who's Perfect Rack?
I love the Hill.
I'm moving right now. That's Murray Hill is definitely circled.
I love the Hill.
There we go, dude. I'll buy a house
in the Hill.
I'll buy a house in the Hill. I was gonna say I'll buy a house and you can rent it, Dilla.
Hey, I gotta be in there I gotta be out of my spot by October 5th. You make it happen. Good luck with the closing costs that quick.
I know a guy in the mortgage industry. We need a
Hey, make it happen. We're in there. Deposit and all. I'm about to pay someone else. Might as well give it to you.
I was gonna say, how about you just buy it and I'll hold the mortgage? There we go. We can talk after the pod.
Yeah. Talk to me about that.
We're just making deals out here, baby.
That's what we do, man. That's what we do. And shout out to the Perfect Rack for getting us even going on that tangent. Also for the support, man. So we from time to time we get people still hitting us up. We've got actually, I think we could all feel comfortable in saying way more sponsors than we ever even intended to have. So hopefully we're doing everybody justice. We'll keep shouting you out, trying to give as much value as possible to each person.
When we started this shit, if you told me we were going to get sponsors and people coming to us, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Well, ride the wave, man. It's like anything else, like crypto, just ride the wave. Just ride the wave.
To the moon.
to the moon. Bold take to the moon.
So we want to talk about the cuts, right? The cuts is the news, right?
All right.
Their hands.
Before we even get into that, I'm going to let you guys talk about the cuts because here's my take on the cuts. Okay. I felt like leading up to the cuts yesterday, day before, a lot of consternation on the timeline, a lot of who's going to make it, who's not. Then they do the cuts. Same. I can't believe they cut this person. I can't believe they cut that person.
Really married to some really average ass players.
Well, and look, I can't throw shade at that because that's been me at the past. You know what I mean? That's been me at the past too. Yeah, I mean, I think that's been all of us. Here's where I'm at with it though, and this is one of the things I wanted to kind of just bring to the pod tonight. I don't give a shit about a single person that was kept or not kept. Like seriously, where I am is Trevor Lawrence good?
Yes.
Because if Trevor Lawrence isn't good, it doesn't matter who the 40th person on the team. It doesn't matter who the 4th person on the team is. Frankly, I don't give a shit. If Trevor Lawrence is good, then we move. Like that's it. Then we move. And so to me, the first half of this season, the first whole season is about how good is Trevor Lawrence and how good can he be? Now I understand that some people are important to playing into the fact of how good can he be, right? His supporting cast and such. I get that. But by and large, none of the people who were cut,
not the ones that got cut,
are going to play that big of a factor into it. So for me, like I legitimately is like things are trickling through. Oh, so-and-so was cut. Yeah, hate to hear it. Oh, so-and-so was cut. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, Dewey made the team. Interesting. Didn't expect that other than Solly. But again, don't really care. Even Colin Johnson, who I was on this podcast a couple episodes ago, espousing the fact that I would stab my eyeballs out if Philip Dorsett made the team and Colin Johnson didn't.
Neither of them made it. So you got two.
Neither of them made it. Even if I was honestly at the point when they announced the shit that even if Philip Dorsett made it and Colin Johnson didn't, I still would have been like,
Whatever.
Because here's why. In the past, a guy like Colin Johnson not making it, we're conditioned to think, shit, he's going to go to Green Bay and be the next Alan Lazard.
Yeah.
But guess what? I'm banking on the fact that, bless you, I agree. I'm banking on the fact that our quarterback is going to be really good.
Trevor Lawrence is going to make this guy Tyron Johnson the next Alan Lazard. You
Right.
bitch.
Hey, honestly, that's the more fun part. If we talk about cuts and not cuts, honestly, fuck the guys we cut.
He's going to make Tavon Austin from West Virginia. You bitch.
Stedman Bailey and Tavon Austin. I see you.
Well, I mean, so that's where I'm at with it. And I didn't mean to poo-poo any conversation about the cuts. Because there are some guys worth talking about there. Obviously we made the one waiver claim. I think too, if you guys want to get into the practice squad, I think that's kind of interesting how that's materialized. But again, none of it matters if Trevor Lawrence isn't good. So that's where I'm at with it. Like literally, you could take the entire roster, tear up the paper, throw it in the incinerator, and it doesn't matter to me if Trevor Lawrence isn't very, very good. That's Cap's take on the bold take.
Bold,
super bold. Anyway, so I don't know if there's anybody like after I just completely shat all over any thoughts that maybe you could have on the guys that were cut. Are there any that surprised you or upset you or anything like that?
Not too many surprises for me personally.
Jared Wilson was a little bit of. Yeah. Did he get picked up?
No,
I don't think so.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I definitely had him
as
on
good as Dave Caldwell always told us.
Yeah,
he's not fast.
Yeah, he's not fast.
He's not fast. Oh.
He was almost like how we joked about Taven Bryan the other day. Like he can play all the positions. Like, does he play them all super well? I don't know. I guess not. I don't know. I don't really know shit about safety. You're the safety expert, Caps. You tell me.
Well, I mean, I like the really interesting thing to me is how they're going to line up in Houston. Like who the two starting safeties are going to be.
I mean, it seems to be Cisco, right?
I think it's going to be Cisco and Jenkins, and then Rudy Ford is going to be playing in the time.
Which seems to be the way it's leaning and what everybody's thinking.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like Cisco got a lot of first team run at all. I mean, at practice, I know he has been a little bit, but in the games, he didn't much.
So yeah. I kind of agree with that too. And it wouldn't surprise me if it was Rudy Ford and Jenkins back. And then when they played the dime front, Ford slipped down and to play dime. And I mean, they can, all three of them can play all three spots. I mean, you would rather Jenkins playing deeper, but he can come down and hit too if he needs to. So
yeah. I've actually been surprised by how big Jenkins is. I didn't realize he was, as tall and, yeah, I mean, I guess just like height wise, I saw him standing next to a couple other guys like in a pregame, and I was like, wow, okay, yeah, he's a pretty big dude.
Overall, I've been impressed with him. Like when we signed him, a lot of people kind of talked him up, and I was like, I've never even heard of this guy. Like
same. I think we all said that.
As a whole, through 3 preseason games, he played at least a little bit in every game. Well, maybe not in this last one, but he played a decent bit in the first 2. And he just looks like a player who, like, he's always where he's supposed to be. Worst case, he's just going to wrap you up or push you out of bounds, and we move on with our life. You know what I mean? We haven't had that kind of, like, luxury back there. Wilson used to be our luxury. Like, that was Wilson. After we had our, like, nice 2017 run, he was our, steady Eddie back there. So it is kind of funny to completely move on from that and have something new.
I think he brings a little more, man. I think he's more explosive for sure than
he's a much better player, but that's what I'm saying. Like at worst, he's just gonna, make the play in front of him and move on with life.
Yeah. I think he brings good energy too, which is I think important. So like if you got a dude who seems to be pretty smart and savvy, right? And is gonna be, like you said, is gonna be in the right places, which I mean, obviously it's a small sample size, but like you said though, too, people thought pretty highly of him when he came over. I don't know. I've been really impressed with him. I think I kind of almost treated him like a Rudy Ford type signing. Like I didn't have like super high expectations for him.
Same.
So What about so Solly, you want to peacock a little bit on the Solly 53? I
Yeah.
feel like you've been putting that out there.
So the safety position and the wide receiver position are what I have to peacock about a little bit. People were absolutely livid that I had Dewey on the 53. Sorry. I don't want him to be there any more than any of you do, but I was just putting out facts, okay?
Speak on it.
Josh Jones being a cut, people were kind of griping for about that. And that one's kind of nailed that. The wide receiver position, right? There's no way they're cutting Dorsett. Dorsett was a priority. Dorsett was a priority signing.
Shut up, Keanu.
He's cut.
Well,
Treadwell. There's no way they're cutting Treadwell. What's his name? The trainer. He's a
all pro.
Terrell Owens, basically, according to his trainer. Cut. Tavon Austin making it. Wrote Tavon Austin in as a make it.
Speak on it.
Solly 53.
Solly 53 is undefeated like a couple years in a row. That's fantastic.
It's like 3 years. He's shooting like 98 plus.
Like you're for somebody who literally doesn't pay much attention to any of these guys at all. You're like a savant. It's impressive.
Didn't I nail the draft picks too? I mean, they wanted Tony, right? They didn't get him. Then my other one was ETN, and that's who they took. I mean, come on, buddy.
So it's your fault. It's your fault that ETN lost his foot. It's your fault. So just to clarify, I think Josh Jones, wasn't he like IR?
No, he just thanks.
I thought he was cut like with an injury or something type of deal. Like maybe. I could be wrong.
Maybe.
But anyway, regardless, he's not on the roster. You got it. You got it correct.
I'll also tell you what I did that was not intentional at all, but ends up looking like a stroke of genius in hindsight, is put it out way before anybody else. Because it's like I had it first.
That's true. I mean, anybody else who had similar takes, like they were clearly just
copying
off the wizard.
I guess meanwhile we traded Gardner Minshew since I put mine out, and we traded Sidney Jones since I put
That's what I was about to actually bring up. If we go back to surprises, I was pretty sure Sidney Jones would be on the team.
Same.
But
it makes sense. It makes sense what they did.
I mean, with where he was going to be on the roster, if you can get a pick for him, it does make sense, especially with he was probably going to get cut if he's CB6. Yeah. But I think he's another player too. When he has success, moderate success, people are going to see him a lot more because he's on the Seahawks. They play it all the time on national TV. If he makes a play, guys, don't freak out.
He's a solid enough player. Like he's going to make plays in the league. Like it doesn't mean he's like, a lockdown guy.
I was DMing back and forth with the Seahawks athletic writer, Michael Duggar. He's a real cool dude.
Oh yeah, that's your boy. He gives you credit on scoops, doesn't he?
Yeah, for everything between us he has. But anyway, he asked me what I thought Sidney Jones was, and I was like, honestly, he's a cornerback who you really like him for a couple plays because he does a bunch of awesome stuff. But just as soon as you think he's like, all right, he's like going to live up to the hype, he's second round pick, he gets gassed deep. And at the night after I told him that, I woke up in the morning and he had like dropped a big thread of plays, and it was like, nice play, burn for 70 yards, like nice play, burn. And I was like, yep, that's exactly it. And
I mean, he's a nice player. He's not CJ Henderson. He's not Shaq Griffin, and he's not really playing the slot. I mean,
and CJ coming back and being awesome. I mean, he had the boom on that one play. I don't know if you remember that, Cap, if you were enjoying your pool, but that play was exciting. He flew across the field. He stuck out like crazy on film, and then he laid the wood, and his like big gripe coming out was like he's not physical.
Not physical, yeah.
So
he's been anything but like afraid of physicality since he got here. Like he's been very physical.
Whatever they talk to him about, it's whoever's talking to him. Shout out to them. They're obviously really good at their job. Shout out to CJ for.
Yeah, I mean he makes us a totally different team if he is playing up to his ability, and I guess more importantly, if he's feeling up to it, right? Like if he's mentally healthy enough to go. That's the big thing with him. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head though with Sidney Jones. And I fully expect him to make some flash plays in Seattle. I think he'll fit in pretty good with them. But yeah, he's in, and that's the interesting thing, because he left Philly, he was kind of maligned, amongst the fan base there. And I think people felt the same way. And then he got here and he flashed a little bit, and it was like, oh, okay. Maybe he got something here. Former second round pick. He's got, decent size. Like, he's got pretty good ball skills. Like, he seems to, make plays. But yeah, then he'll just miss a terrible tackle or blow a coverage. And it was, I too was a little surprised he didn't make it. I don't know that I was surprised by Taven Bryan making it.
I wasn't.
I wouldn't say I was surprised. And that was probably more a function of I just didn't know who they were going to keep over him at that position. But I also watched him in that game, and he still looks pretty damn lost half the time. Like, the dude can't find the ball.
For sure. But they also kept that guy whose name is Daniel, something with like a U. And then
Uwali or whatever.
Ukulele.
Yeah, they kept him, and they kept another one, something Patrick.
Aaron Patrick, yeah.
And those two guys are definitely getting cut before Brian is. If it comes to it, the one of them did. He got cut for the receiver that we picked up. And then I still think, and then there was a lot of rumblings that if it came down to it, that Ghostus would be gone before Brian too. Which, if that happened, I think Ghostus obviously like sticks out. He at least makes a play a game, but at the end of the day, the defensive line's so much better from a starter standpoint. Those guys aren't really impacting the game once it actually matters. So who cares?
Yeah, I think kind of that when you're running a three-man front, that fourth and fifth guy is important, though. I mean, like, the backup knows, and another guy to either play the 3 or the 5, like. It like the really good D lines have those guys, right? And I mean,
yeah, but it's on our team. It's just Smoot and Hattie in a different role. Like, those guys they're going to get the snaps down there before those guys that we just named are. Like Tavin.
Yeah, I guess it depends on like the down and distance and what they're running. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people are just. I know a lot of people are just over Taven Bryan, right? And over the disappointment of what he is or what he was supposedly supposed to be.
And I think that's kind of the worst part. No one ever thought he was going to be good.
That's true. I mean, I think everybody kind of goes. I mean, dude, let's be real here. The guy barely played in the preseason. He missed a bunch of time with non-football injury, and then a little bit with COVID? Yeah, with COVID protocol. So, I mean, they must really like what his potential. We'll put it that way, because it's not like I don't think he put a whole lot on tape.
He did his best play. I was gonna say his best play this past week. He like busted through the line. And he hit our own linebacker who got through on the weak side before he did that. Shit was funny.
It was a fucking hell of a hit too. Let me tell you.
Yeah, he also busted up. He also, and I'll give him this. He recognized a screen and literally just tackled the running back. That was the fact that he diagnosed it, turned around, recognized it, and fucked it up.
Number one Taven Bryan fan, Solly.
Hey, we need to start a collection to get Solly a Taven Bryan jersey. Like, because I kind of feel like just your big ass would look good in a Taven Bryan jersey.
I'll put it. People would probably think I was Taven Bryan. I would. I could put it with my Luke Jokel jersey. I could switch off between those two.
There you go.
Hey, it is Houston week. Jokel's gonna stone Watt. He's gonna stone him. He's gonna stone him.
He's gonna stone him.
I still have that video clip somewhere. I gotta find that.
It was like day one of Solly and I's friendship.
Literally.
Yeah.
For real. We need to put that on the pod intro.
All right. Well, I think people have diagnosed this initial 53 here. Dilly, you want to touch on Tyron Johnson at all? Any more of like?
I mean, I just think it's cool to have we want speed, we want obvious speed. You get someone like him who literally, I think it was the Rams fan account from SB Nation tweeted out his first 4 catches were over 50 yards as a pro.
Yeah.
And then he had like only 20 catches, I think, last year, and he had like 3 or 4 touchdowns. So like you're not expecting a guy who's going to come out here every week and rack up 120, but he might have a couple 3 for 120s. And if he gives you a touchdown, that's like those kind of plays aren't something that happens very often. And Jacksonville. So if we get a couple of those this year where we just steal a touchdown or two because our quarterback can throw it further than they can cover because our guy can run past everybody. Like that's exciting. And towards the end of the roster, he definitely fits. I think he's an upgrade to what we had. And when you can upgrade, and you're using your first overall waiver priority, when something good falls in your lap, they'd be dumb not to jump on it. So I was pumped that they did pick him up.
Yeah. I'm interested to see, man. I mean, a team that very clearly wants fast guys, right? That wants elite speed. Also a team that doesn't have a whole lot of it at the moment.
Mm.
And so to obtain a guy who, was kind of behind some other receivers there, I want to see what they can do with him and see if maybe he evolves into something. I mean, I think he's to your greater point, Dilla. I mean, I think he's an upgrade over the bottom of the roster receivers that we had or that we potentially could have kept. And I also think, though, he's going to get some opportunities, and it would be really awesome to see him come in here. And the word out of practice over the next 3 weeks is like, this dude's legit. Like, not only is he just like the guy who's going to run the deep out or the fly, like, I mean, he can run some routes too. Like,
hey, I was going to tweet it out as a joke. And then I started looking into the comparison and weight and height and stuff. And I was going to tweet out that he's going to be the next AB, but then I was like, oh, that might actually happen. So I didn't want to get people too excited on a Wednesday.
Jesus Christ.
We'll see, man. I don't know. It was it kind of felt like a mini draft day, because we've been really fucking bad in the past. Like, I know, because I've been there and I've seen it, and we've been really fucking bad.
We started Luke McCown in a season opener one time.
We've never been bad enough to have the first overall pick and then subsequently have the first waiver pick, the first priority on waivers. So it was literally, oh, okay. Looking at all the people who are getting cut, and the number one guy that everyone kept talking about was like, how did the guy from the Chargers, how did Teron Johnson get cut? Like, how did that happen? Like, hey, that guy's, he's really good. And you see other accounts or other people from other teams like, oh yeah, we could use a deep threat wide receiver. We'd love to have that dude. And then it's like, well, hey, yeah, we sucked the most last year. We win again.
It's kind of nice how in the past, I feel like they would make moves cut people and you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, why would you cut that guy? Like, you cut my guy, Colin Johnson. And then there'd be no move that made you go, well, okay, I see why you cut Colin Johnson. It feels like they kind of did that. I don't know shit about this guy, but.
No, I feel you. For everyone that you thought they might have kept, this guy's way more exciting.
Right.
And I think when it comes to these kind of players, I look more for the tweets that are like, oh, what the hell are we doing? Versus I can't believe this guy got cut. He's good.
Yeah. The other fan base is like, what the hell?
On a team level. And he is, there's more to offer than just this big play guy who might catch the ball 2 or 3 times a game.
Yeah. Well, he's clearly going to be a Hall of Fame receiver, and we just stole him. So that's good.
Maybe.
I'm here for it. I'm here for
God, it. So you played that emoji reaction thing on your Dillard. Yeah. I was looking for the cum face. Look at this one, dude.
That's the official. That's the official. That might have to be the official emoji of the bold take right there. I don't know if we can abandon the ejaculation face, but
that's the Zoom ejaculation face emoji right there.
Speaking of ejaculating all over the place, that's what we call a segue in the biz. Let's talk about, we lost Dilla. Let's talk about the practice squad. Just briefly. We don't have to spend a ton of time
let's talk about the fucking practice squad. Who's the QB3? We don't have one.
We don't have one because we don't need one. We literally have. First of all, I've never seen so many fucking veterans on a practice squad. That's the crazy thing to me. I think it was Shipley. Shout out to a friend of the program, John Shipley from SI Jaguars coverage. If you don't follow him, I don't know why you don't. You should, because he's got great content. Ship put something out there that was he just had a tweet yeah, so now that so-and-so and so-and-so veteran receivers, blah, 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 made the team. And I was just like, or made the practice squad, I was like, he said, and then I think Dilla, I saw you said, well, we've got the bullpen. We got the bullpen right here. And it's just like, then I went and looked at all the 13 guys at the time that had been announced. And I was like, oh shit. Like,
yeah, we didn't get rid of nobody.
It was quite seriously like we just went back to having like 70 guys on the roster again.
I cut Colin Johnson and everyone else came back.
Yeah. Did Jalen Camp actually sign yet or
No?
Yeah, interesting there. I thought for sure they were trying to stash him, but
Same.
yeah, even Zigbo, who is way better than Carlos Hyde, and hopefully at some point this season we'll get to call. But it really is like I feel like in the past the practice squad is a bunch of guys who you're like, yeah, we're even on our terrible roster, we're probably not going to see the vast majority of these guys. But at this point, it's almost like a AAA squad. It's like it's like, hey, well, so and so's on the DL. We're going to call up, come on up, buddy.
Priority free agent signing Philip Dorsett or whatever.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to just protect Dorsett and Treadwell every week, and then hope that they don't lose Devin Smith and Josh Hammond and Cotton, whatever his name is.
There's like 16 receivers on there, isn't there?
There's 5 on the team and 5. Well, there might be 6 now because we got the one guy, but it was like 5 and 5 before that.
It isn't. I mean, from a roster construction standpoint, it's an interesting way of doing it. I guess kind of utilizing the newer rules that let you carry more veterans and stuff on there, like to be able to just say, oh, we're only going to keep 5 at this position because the guy maybe who would have been the 6, instead of paying him $1 million this year, now we only got to pay him a fucking 110,000. Like, unless he, comes active. Like, that's kind of smart. I feel like I sort of want to give Trent Baalke a little credit, but not too much.
Hey, how much credit does he get though when we end up like 10-7 or 11-6?
Like, as in 10 wins?
Yeah. Because obviously that's on the way. Like, you can sit here and deny it and like pretend it's not coming, but this whole play-in is just from last week to this week. It is like ping, 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 ping. We're going to look really good against the Bums in Dallas. We're going to sign a player that's going to make us really excited. We're not going to care about the players we cut because we have Trevor Lawrence. It's all flowing along.
I'm getting really strong.
Is that church bells that I hear?
Yeah, I'm getting really strong Pastor Dilla feelings here. It's making me a little uncomfortable. Kind of like,
has he got Kool-Aid chilling in the fridge?
Yeah, like kind of where did the pastor touch you kind of thing. Like, it's making me a little uncomfortable. I don't know about that, buddy. I don't know that we really should be trying to get people that fired up yet. Like, maybe we should play a game first against
the bold take or the old take.
Oh, wow. Coming in heavy, coming in really heavy. I don't know. I kind of want to subscribe to the, let's see how we look against the worst team in the league in about a week and a half kind of
I already
thing.
tweeted my score prediction 38-17. So I'm looking at that game too, but also
38.
Are you talking about preseason game 4 in Houston?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why do you got to say some shit like that? Why on earth are you saying some shit like that? Oh my God.
Have they named a starting quarterback officially or no? Like, did anybody who's employed by the team say?
Yeah, it's like Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, but like, have they officially said that?
Yeah, I've seen people talking about it like right before their game, so they must have.
Oh, okay.
But their head coach is someone named like David Coley or something. No, they're a joke.
Listen, until the game is played, all of it would be the most Jaguar shit ever for us to lose to like David McCauley or whatever the fuck his name is, Daniel Coley, Mick Coley, whatever the fuck his name is. Like, it would be the most Jaguar shit ever to fucking get the number 1 pick and Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer somehow, and have Tebow around for a little while, said a couple prayers, led a few prayer circles, and then to go into Houston against David Duchovny or whatever the fuck the guy's name is, and Tyrod Taylor, and lose the fucking game. Okay, so until that happens, until we actually go and win.
This motherfucker said David Duchovny.
That was good. He named their running back starter as a starter by committee, which means they're going to just run the ball a lot. and no one can run on the Jaguars. So what is there to worry about?
Here comes a 220 piece from the Houston Texans run game.
Oh my God. Monday, September 13th, everyone is going to be screaming, "Fire Joe Cullen! Fire Joe Cullen!"
Not in my reality.
I'm telling you, I'm always happy to live in your reality, Eric Dillard. Always happy to. All right. Well, that's enough about shit that everybody else is hearing from 500 different outlets. But we are contractually obligated to give you our really well thought out and esteemed takes. So we've now met those obligations. Solly
took in those takes.
Solly, as the Tyrod Taylor of this podcast. What's next on the agenda?
As the guy who puts up a field goal in Jacksonville in a playoff game of this podcast, I think we're gonna go to a jag bag.
Ooh,
Jag bag.
jag bag. So once again, I have not looked at any of these. I'm coming in completely fresh.
Same here.
And
we'll start with an easy one.
All right. Yeah. Come on.
Our
Still
boy,
preseason, technically. Still preseason.
Yeah, still preseason. Our boy J.M. Begay. Do I have to jump into another pool of mayo to end this nightmare of terrible white safeties from Wyoming wearing 42 playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars? #jagbag.
I like that.
You have any thoughts on mayo pool jumping?
Yeah. So first of all, before we even get into my overall general thoughts on mayo pool jumping, which I'm pretty sure I've given on this podcast before at least once. But with that said, shout out to homie John. And I like where he went with this because he's going mayo, white safety, right? Mayo,
Wyoming.
I see him in Wyoming, like literally the whitest place on earth. So there's a lot of what's that?
And Chris Krasinski.
Right, exactly. So point being,
a lot of white mayo,
a whole
Wyoming.
Yeah, a whole blob of whiteness. Before anybody gets all weird, I'm obviously white. I don't hate my whiteness. I'm not trying to be ultra woke or any of the shit that somebody is inevitably going to fucking tweet me or the pod handle. So now that we got that out of the way, no, there will be no more mayo. We've discussed many, many things, including May by Tim and Pat Drinks. We're at my house. We were mailing out a bunch of Sun shirts about a week or so ago. And we were talking about what we're doing for the home opener tailgate. And notoriously, we've always kind of aimed to go big for the home opener tailgates. And one of the things Pat said was, well, we could jump into a pile of something. And I said, Pat, first of all, we're playing.
Stop you right there, Pat.
Yeah, we're playing the Broncos. So not really sure what we would jump into unless it's a pile of horse shit. That would make a whole lot of sense. So we're not going to do
Might
that.
smell better than the mayo in 110 degrees.
Pat's like, well, we kind of known for the mayo thing. And I'm like, no, Pat, we've been through this. We somehow escaped that and still were able to use the meme and the joke of Tennessee people are the mayo people. We almost fucked up enough to where if they were smart enough, they'd be like, wait a minute, why are these assholes always saying mayo? Look at these photos of these weirdos. Look at this guy dressed in a Batman costume with a bikini on and a black wig in his crotchal region, right? Jumping into a giant pool of hot mayo on a 105-degree day. Somehow we're the mayo people. No, fuck you, Jaguar fans. You're the mayo people. So we've escaped that, knock on wood. So there will never be another mayo thing, to answer your question, John. Now I will take this time in the podcast in the middle of the jag bag to tell you. Should I tell him? Should I announce right now what we're doing for the home opener?
Breaking.
Should I tell him?
Hello.
Breaking.
All right. You guys don't even know this yet, I don't think.
I know.
We're breaking it down.
So we are hosting the first annual Duval Derby. Okay. So we're going with a horse theme.
Okay.
We're going to get, the horse head things that are on like a pole that like
Oh,
the little
God.
kids kind of hop around on.
Oh, God.
So you know that, and then you also know the game like Dizzy Bat, right? Where you take
Yeah.
the bat, and you spin around in circles.
Oh, Jesus.
So we're gonna have a race. We're gonna have several races that lead into the grand finale race, and it is going to be we're doing the Duval Derby, and so it's going to be you chug a beer, you go around with your horse. I haven't worked out how many times yet, but it'll be many. And then you've got to run down. You've got to run down the course around a cone and back. Okay, that's what we're working with here. So it's gonna be the Duval Derby, and there will be prizes for the winner. We're gonna put some good prizes on the line, but we're getting wild, and we're gonna maybe. Here's the thing, Sally. I'm not going to say that you can't take wagers because I know you're a big gambler now, and it is some horse racing. I think that's where you were going. If you want to bet on the ponies, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to tell you not to do it, but I just say it like officially we can't endorse it.
I have two things. So that is one of them. So, you want to lay something down.
See the bookie, Sally.
You know what to do. We'll be in the woods behind the train tracks. Number two, I just want to.
Are you sucking dick for crack, or are you taking wagers?
Number two, I just want to say, please do not set this up on the actual slab because people are going to go down, and people are going to go down hard.
Okay, and
the slab is very rocky and rough. Ask Dillard; he's gone down on it before.
I survived. That'd be all right.
You're going to see some road rash if you do this on the slab.
Listen, buddy. Listen, if the mud of Churchill Downs at the Kentucky Derby is good enough for those thoroughbreds to run through, then the Duval thoroughbreds will be just fine out at the slab.
If you slap down into mud, it's like a cushion. If you slap down into the slab, it's all rocks. That's all I'm saying. There's like a patch of grass. You need to go to the patch of grass. That's all.
Listen, I didn't come here for your negativity. All right, I just made a groundbreaking announcement. All right, and the first thing I didn't need was for you to tell us about safety concerns. Okay, especially when you're going to be over in the woods doing God knows what.
I know it's Solly's race, and the name is. It's obviously Sam the safety pony.
My last question is: do I need to start getting in shape for this?
I think so.
We're gonna put it open. We're gonna put it out there, and I think we had talked about it's gonna be either 9 or 12 people that we're gonna be accepting, and then, so the final race will either be 3 or 4. It'll either be races of 3 or 4. Don't worry, we're providing the horses. And like you don't have to come with your, I mean, hey, we may open it up though if you want to get real creative and bring your own horse. Like that's as long as it's not a real horse. I can't do liability wise. We can't do that.
Oh, that would be fucking crazy.
That would be. And somebody fucking would show up with a horse. That's why we got to make that clear. I'll put that in the flyer. But anyway, yeah. So we'll be taking volunteers for it. So should be fun. Something kind of crazy. Something different. We thought about really, trying to set the record again for some crazy flip cup or, whatever. But then we're like, hey, social distancing to a degree, drinking out of the same cups and shit as each other, probably not the best thing. So let's have a horse race. So there you go. John. Hey, shout out to John for asking the right question. That was a segue into me being able to announce that.
I would say John needs to go ahead and volunteer for this one.
I will go ahead and put it on the record right now, right in the middle of the hashtag Jagbag, and say that John is the defending champion of the Mayo flop. He's already grandfathered in if he wants a spot. So
boom.
Let us know, John.
Shout out to John.
What else you got, Sally?
This one's kind of deep. I'm going to skip the deep one for now. Ooh, that's a good one. Man, that one's deep too. Holy shit, man. You guys went a little heavy on these. These are like, there's some existential Jagbag questions coming, so just get your minds right.
Dylan's ready.
Everybody's up in there.
I guess I'll just get into them. With Trevor Lawrence and Teal and the curse. With Trevor Lawrence and Teal. Let me start over. This is from our guy, Jags Apologist. With Trevor Lawrence and Teal, is the curse of aggressively bad football and overwhelming despair finally over? And Jags Apologist, we really need some punctuation in those tweets to really help me read next time. Thanks.
Yeah, I think it's over. Jags will be good for like 15 years. We're good.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm gonna
Easy one.
take.
Never mind. Well, I thought that one would be a little deeper. Easy one.
I was just gonna take a different course, but I won't belabor it too much. I still have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about this before the pod.
Yeah.
There's still a world that you could live in where you would wake up and be like, something's not right.
Oh, it's a funny thing because it's not that I expect Trevor Lawrence to not be good or that I can't wrap my head around the fact that Trevor Lawrence probably will be a really good NFL quarterback. It's more so
him wearing a Jaguars jersey.
Right. I am conditioned and battered. Right. We've called it battered fan syndrome. And that is my battered fan syndrome is manifesting into this aura or this feeling of I need to see it to believe. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's there. And I pinch myself sometimes when I'm watching him take snaps in that uniform.
That beautiful teal.
But I got to see it. And I need to see it. Here's my qualifier. Give me 3 games where he looks really good. Win or lose, he looks really good in the first 6 games of the season. So half of the games, he looks really good. Again, win or lose. And I will be like, wow, this might be really happening.
He'll throw for 300 yards in 2 of the first 3 games.
Great. I mean, but really look like a quarterback who within a year or 2 could be a top 10 guy. Show us that kind of promise.
He'll be there by the end of the year. Legitimately, I think he'll be a top 10 quarterback by the end of the year.
I love it. Love it. I want to see it. I have to see it.
Some of that stuff he was doing, I know we already talked about him, but looking the safety off and finding extra room and knowing where to be, coming up to the line of scrimmage, seeing people move. He brought, I don't know if it was by play design or he did it, but they brought O'Shaughnessy into the backfield to go, two running back set. He picked up the blitz. He just threw a dime. He looked the safety off, give him more time, and that's the one that he dropped over to Dorsett. He shouldn't be doing that right now. And the fact that he's already doing that, I don't even think we can mess it up. That's just like when Alabama got Nick Saban. It's over. We're good.
Oh man.
I think the Dillicle just predicted 5 championships right there.
Next question. Sorry.
Next question.
Say that. I just meant
next question.
5 championships.
That
next
makes
question
me uneasy.
From at it. How do you say this guy's handle? Triad. Is that right?
Yeah, that's homie from he's from not Hungary.
Yeah, our boy Zoltan. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Z? I'm gonna call him Z.
Z. Big Z says, maybe it's Zildrunas Elgauskas. Maybe that's him.
I like it.
Do you already have some nickname ideas for some of the new members who are with the team the first time this season?
Solid question.
Also, who has the best chance to earn his name back, and why is it Calvin Chase?
Well, probably because it's not Tavin Bryan. And it's considering I think he's the only one left with a nickname.
Sleepy Hendo, but that thing just resonates so heavy. I don't know if Sleepy's ever going to get his name back because it's kind of hard. Sleepy is a cool.
It's actually nickname. A good nickname. Yeah. When you get a good nickname,
it just kind of rides out. If he makes a play, everyone says Sleepy. That's organic, and that's just going to stay like that forever.
It's kind of a fire nickname.
And Calvin Chase is legitimately not his real name, and I've been even calling him Chase on lately.
You've been calling him Chase on?
Mm-hmm.
When he earns his name, do we have to then find him a fire nickname?
No, it'll come if it happens. I feel like we don't need to force anything.
Right. And that's kind of the overall answer to that question, right? These nicknames just sort of come organically, either born out of really bad play or really good play.
I think it'll start to pick up once the real games start rolling through.
Yeah, I mean, they'll definitely show up. We call each other 14 different nicknames. They'll definitely pop up. But
I'm thinking every time Sleepy makes a play, we all just stand up on our chairs in the north end zone and start yawning. Like just fucking group yawns would be money. Like
That the receiver we picked up though, he's got a nickname. I can't remember what it is, but it's kind of like
is it Ty?
nah, it's kind of like country sound and it sounds cool. I think it's gonna stick. As soon as like we realize that's all we're gonna call him.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, no, good question. Thank you for reminding us. Obviously, nicknames are sort of what we do around here. So definitely looking forward to doing some of those. I mean, obviously the one nickname that we didn't give to somebody that seems to be really apropos is Dewey. Obviously, like if anybody is a Dewey, it's definitely that guy. So he's got that going for himself. And then Hottie, I mean, Hottie's already got a nickname, and he's basically the god.
He also has exclusive nicknaming privileges. He can just give out a nickname as he did with White Jesus.
Yeah. So fantastic. And then the clip, if you have not seen the clip, somebody ripped it from the Instagram stories, but if you have not seen the clip of Jihad Ward playing Kanye's
I just said somebody like I'm not right here.
Oh, it was you who ripped it? Sorry. I thought it was Nubs. I thought Nubs had it first. I thought it was a Nubs exclusive.
You might have. My bad if you did.
I could be wrong. But I'm probably wrong. It probably was you. I mean, far be it for me to dispute the Dillical. But with that said, it's he's playing, it's Jesus Walks, right? And yeah, he's just like
he's got Trevor behind him.
Over under. How many times do you think Trevor has actually heard that song in his life?
That was the first time he heard it, dead ass, when he listened to it.
Really?
Oh, you could tell by the way he literally was like.
He kind of gave it the like, oh yeah, like he did sort of have that. That's why I asked, because it seemed like
there
is kind of sweet.
There is no fucking way on earth he's never heard Jesus Walks.
Bro, it came out when he was like 4.
Yeah, he was young as hell when it came out.
Dude, Kanye that he grew up with is different than Kanye that we grew up with. Kanye is like everything now to these kids.
Is it?
Yeah, but they don't listen to old stuff.
I think they know them all, bud.
I don't think so at all. So, you know how Prisco was super wrong about the jerseys Tebow thing? This is kind of your Prisco moment.
Well, you're best friends with him, so you ask him.
All right, I will.
Next question is where did it go? What's another topic? Oh, this comes from our boy Cass City J. He says #Jagbag. What's another topic you'd want Urban to speak 100% candidly on during a press conference? Outstanding question.
Oh man.
This is a thinker too. You could go a lot of ways with this.
Yeah, you could go a lot of ways with this. Oh man.
I mean, for me, the first thing that jumps off the top of my head is like the Florida days. I want him to air out everything from Florida.
Oh yeah, I want to know about Aaron Hernandez, Percy Harvin.
Yeah, I want to grill him on that for a doc and then sell it to Netflix.
Yeah.
Hey, honestly, we could just do an Urban Meyer one, and then I'll use my question on how much of the the abusive relationship did you know about with your coordinator, and we can just put it all out there and make him talk about all of it.
Boom.
Yeah. There it is. Like, shout out to Netflix. Holler at us.
Oh my goodness. All right, next one. Oh, the other thing that I would ask him, how do you feel about Dan Mullen's wife kissing the players on the mouth? I'd like to just know. Like,
great one.
That was good.
That would be more of like, not in a press conference setting. It would be like, hey, we're having beers, sitting over at our mutual pal Tim Tebow's house, and we're sitting on the back veranda and we're having some cold ones.
Watching people try to hit that green that's probably back there.
Yeah, and just so Herbs. Yeah, Cap. Tell me, like, be completely fucking honest here, man. Does it weird you out when you see Danny's wife kissing these boys on the mouth? Like, do you and Shelly go home and say, what the fuck is she doing? Like, I mean, what does Shelly think? Like, Shelly, what do you think? It's Cap. How are you? Yeah, that could go down like that.
Next up, we've got at DJ Delphonic, Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Says, would quote unquote honest urban, aka Urban Friar, be a good guest deacon to speak at the Church of Dilla? Hashtag Jagbag.
Yeah, he's always welcome. He's kind of has the, I don't know how to say it, the same intuition and lead as I do. Just kind of starts talking and everybody starts listening. Gotta respect it.
I like it, man. Just game recognizing game right there. It's just flat out like you guys are in your own stratosphere and the rest of us are just trying to get a little piece. I'm not going to answer that because I'm not the Dillical, so I can't. I'm not a gatekeeper for that. But I will say, I looked the other day, and our boy Dell only has like 400 followers on Twitter,
Insane.
which is fucking criminal.
Yeah,
it's fucking criminal. Okay,
his tweets are literally like Trevor Lawrence against the Cowboys in preseason. Like it's just 100%.
Top 10, no doubt. Best tweeter in Jaguars Twitter.
Content is just churning.
The videos and the clips and the edits and stuff he does. If you're not following Del, like stop following the three of us. If you got to follow, if you have a follow quota and you don't want to go over it, or
you can unfollow me, please. My shit is not that fucking good.
Unfollow us and go follow Del. All right. And it's not because he's a bold take Hall of Famer. This is not a service.
He's a bold take Hall of Famer because his fucking content is so good.
Facts. It's not because he's one of our pals or anything like that. He's an elite tweeter. Yeah. I can say that he is an elite amongst. Listen, Jaguars Twitter is kind of like SEAL Team 6. All right, and Dell is an elite member of the elite team. That's all I'm gonna say.
And we retweet him all the time, so you can't say you don't know where to find him. Okay.
Yeah, very true.
Last but not least, at 07_Clay. Odds of a live pod at the Saturday night bar before the Houston game. And I brought this question up because we are nowhere near technologically capable or like brain-wise capable of pulling that off. We don't plan this thing well enough to pull some shit like that off. Especially like that's our vacation. Like we're enjoying ourselves. I'm going to be 4 sheets to the wind at that point. But I do think it's an idea that we could do something like that one day. And I just wanted to put it into the universe. We never want to do it on a Saturday night party before a road game like that. But like a live on location something.
Oh, we could definitely do that. We could definitely do an actual live taping or whatever of it.
That Saturday night party though, if I was doing a podcast there, it would kind of sound like
yeah, well, not just that, but it's going to be way too noisy. There's going to be, if I had to guess, I got to tell the guy my best guess early next week so they can prep. But there'll be over 200 people there, easy.
Dillard is going to need a fucking Secret Service protective detour to keep people out, or whatever you call it, to keep people off of them. How's he go podcast?
I'm not bullshitting you. I wouldn't be surprised if there's 250, 300 people there that night. So it would be very difficult, like you said, from an acoustic standpoint to do that. With that said, it's a damn shame that they got rid of fleets, because we could have done some elite fleets from the pod handle.
Why the fuck did they get rid of fleets, dude?
I'm saying it's Sully's fault. It's fucking Sully and Irish Jack's fault. It's their fault. Single-handedly, they fucking just.
They were too good at it. They were just too good at it.
They said both of these guys are borderline going to have their accounts, at any moment could have their accounts nuked. We can't have fleets if they're going to be the elitist of the elite fleeters. So we will need to come up with some. I know in Denver we put some stuff out there. We had some.
You know what we need? We probably need an Instagram account, right? But neither of the three of us is going to run it, right? We need somebody else to run it. We need to flesh this out. Like we need somebody else to run it. Somebody that's at the tailgates and somebody that's at every
I can probably do it.
No. Because you need to be in front of the camera, not behind it.
But I'm saying I could probably set it up and just
Yeah,
throw
we
some
could set it
content
up,
and
but I
stuff
think we
up
need
there.
to let one of the younger kids do that. You know what I'm saying?
Like Tony.
Who's Tony? Like my kid? My kid Tony?
You said kids. You said kids like we're some fucking, really mature adults over here.
Another question that I got that I don't remember what the question was, but I saw somebody asked in the Jag bag as a millennial Jag fan, and he put in parentheses he was 21 years old. If you're 21 years old, you're not a millennial, right?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're after a millennial, right?
I'm on the fucking
You're on the spectrum, but the rest of them
on the spectrum.
Yeah, I'm on the fucking very fringe. I was gonna say fringe, but you just made it sound like I'm mentally handicapped. So I appreciate that. No, I'm on the fringe of the whole millennial thing anyway. Like I'm one of those cats who's like stuck between the two,
Like me and Dillard are like primetime millennials, and then probably it goes until like 1995 of a birth year. Is that right? So if you're 21, you were born in 2000, you ain't no millennial, right?
Yeah,
no, that's like Gen Z or whatever the fuck
Gen
they
Z
are. Yeah.
Go get your own. Speaking of nicknames, go get your own nickname instead of calling yourselves Gen Z. Figure out a nickname, guys.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, shout out to any of the 21-year-olds are definitely allowed to listen. I don't want to alienate the
for sure.
doing.
Just don't try to claim to be in our generation, bro.
That's cool. They can be in our generation. We're all Generation Jaguar around here.
Are we?
I mean, more or less, we are. I don't know. Like labels suck, bro.
Nobody knows, dude. Nobody knows.
Labels suck.
Anyway. I just want to know: does Alfie get royalties?
Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome. It's cool that we actually have some. Like they don't think that
that we're old.
Old graybeard here is too old. They don't want to hang out. But yeah.
I mean, these are the guys we need to run our Instagram, right?
They probably think Instagram's kind of lame, dude. Like we're reality. Like
you need a Parler account these days.
We need a TikTok. We need a TikTok.
Snapchat. Yeah, maybe Snapchat.
Hey, TikTok might be kind of fire from the road, though.
Be sick. Yeah, we should figure out how to do that and be good at it.
Yeah, at least from the road. Like, let's just start one just for Houston and then never do it again.
That's our project. Let's do it. TikTok. Right. We're gonna start it. You heard it right here on this bold take. We're starting a fucking TikTok.
You guys are gonna be so blazed out of your mind. We're gonna get there and be like,
It's just gonna be like video after video of Dillard just like
JB shitting in the bushes.
That's so good, man.
That'd be elite content. Oh my god.
Yeah, we're definitely making it. That's 100%.
Don't come back here. I'm shitting in the bushes.
Delete your Twitter account during the weekend and just go to TikTok instead. I guarantee
I'm only gonna do TikTok.
Shit will be pumped out. That's one of the best parts about these weekends, though, is like you don't even have to be on Twitter because you're hanging out with everybody that's on Twitter.
You are what's on Twitter.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Fleets would have been money. It's a shame.
Yeah. TikTok. We're TikToking it.
TikTok and Instagram and all right. It's gonna be real.
All right, boys. Anything else we got?
That's it for the Jag bag.
That's it.
All right.
Week 1 right around the corner. 1-0 right around the corner.
Yeah, buddy. Boy. Are we gonna do like a preview podcast before week 1, or are we just gonna sayonara?
We'll see what pops up. We'll see if anything pops up.
If there's anything important to talk about.
Trade for someone sweet.
Do an interview.
Yeah, potentially.
Let's do that. I like that. I like how we're super official in our planning here. We're doing it right here at the end of the episode.
Anybody who's looking to have us be a guest and have us interview you, reach out, holler.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. Sally means like people who just random people who are on the internet. That was not an invitation.
We don't have to let them on, dude.
All right, actually, that's fine. Just at Solly. At Solly, if you
at me, I'll ignore the shit out of every one of them unless I want to interview you.
You can DM Solly if you want to be on the pod.
I don't even go on Twitter anymore, so it's perfect. Beautiful.
Yeah. All right.
Wonderful.
I love you, JB.
Love you, JB.